And good morning. Welcome to Breakthrough Walls. I'm Ken Walls and I am your host. And I am really excited to have my guest on today. Her name is Jill Kirsh. Jill is a friend of mine and she is an amazing lady. Jill, I'd like to go ahead and welcome you to the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm honored to have you on. Like you've rubbed elbows with some really big Hollywood names, and we'll get into that. But I'm really excited to have you on. So thank you for taking the time.
Well, thank you for having me. I must tell you honestly, this is my second Facebook Live ever. I mean, I've been interviewed on TV like a bazillion times, but I cannot tell you how hard it is for me not to look at your face and look at the camera. It's like anyway. I'm going to do my super best.
You can look at my face. Nobody's going to judge. So I created this show really to give back to the world because I've been blessed with so much in life, and but there's been many times in life where I didn't feel blessed. I felt like I'm stuck. I'm never getting out of this. It's always going to be bad. You know what I'm talking about. You get that feeling.
I do. Right? I think everyone does, actually.
Yeah. And I think that people get, strength and hope by hearing other people's stories about how they were stuck and got unstuck. So let's start with telling everybody who you are and where you were born and raised.
Okay. So I was born and raised in New York City. Both of my parents were in the garment center. People say, oh, how did you get into this colors thing? And it's interesting because you don't think that, oh no, I didn't follow in footsteps, but it's all kind of, a tapestry, a path. But anyway, so I grew up on 7th Avenue in all the showrooms, and I was acting for years in New York. And instead of waiting tables, I worked in showrooms. I worked wholesale. I worked retail. And that's what I was doing in New York. So I'd be working at a retail shop, and then during my lunch hour, I'd run and do an audition, and come back to work. And
Wow. That's pretty impressive. I didn't realize you grew up in New York City. So
I did.
What's interesting is I don't know if you ever heard the story, but I've flown into JFK and LaGuardia a couple of different times for layovers, but I had never been in the actual city.
Oh my God.
I know.
Until.
So I was there, what was it, about 8 months ago. Or maybe it may have been almost a year now, but like I was there, I literally drove there from where I live, and I remember I'm thinking. I'm driving down 34th Street. I'm talking to my wife. I almost hit a cop in an intersection. I'm like, because I'm just mesmerized. My wife's going, "Oh my gosh, that's where the parade is," and I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm on the parade." And then people in New York are so nice.
I know. That's so great you experienced that. That's great. It's true.
I couldn't believe it. Like every perception I had about New York City was false.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Isn't that an interesting, I just like with your whole show, isn't that an interesting thing that one can have perceptions of something they don't even know about?
Right.
Have such fixed ideas about it, and then they actually experience it for themselves, and like, bam, it's like, it opens everything up.
It's
That's
crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah. My buddy Richie Bellows on the live stream. He's in New York, so he's from New York
Richie.
Too. So you were born and raised in New York.
Yes.
And you got into acting, and your parents were in the, what'd you call it?
It's called the Garment Center.
Okay.
It's 7th Avenue. I mean, we're talking back in the day, so much has changed. The whole industry, the fashion industry has changed. But there are areas in New York near 34th Street, actually, like between, say, 35th Street and 41st Street, where so much was going on back in the day with all these high buildings had showrooms for clothing and everything, like all over, and accessories. And anyways, it was a different time. But but that was like the manufacturing district. Huge.
Wow. now,
huge.
is that all considered? Is that Manhattan? Is that all like?
New York City is really Manhattan. Sorry, outer-lying boroughs. Although, I mean, Brooklyn has become so fabulous. I mean, when I was growing up, Brooklyn was like not so much, and now it's just crazy. And the construction going on in the city is just, well, you saw, right? I mean, it's nonstop.
Yeah.
It's like, because it's a small island, Manhattan Island. I mean, you
Yeah.
literally, I have walked across Manhattan from like the Hudson River to the East River. It's
Wow.
not, it's a long walk, but it's not, you can do it.
Yeah.
So they have to go up, like vertical, like, so the buildings just go on and on. They are skyscrapers, you know
Well,
what I mean?
I'm partnered with a company in New York, and so I'm technically allowed to say that I have an office on Madison Avenue. And I
I'm
do.
impressed. I'm impressed. It's lovely, Madison Avenue. So did you do a bunch of fun stuff while you were there?
I was only there 6 hours, so and I had to get down to York, Pennsylvania. So, but you know that's it, still I remember like because I had these perceptions that from watching TV, of course, as a kid and whatever. But I had all these preconceived notions that I was going to get mugged, like every 10 feet, and it was they are the nicest people. We went to a restaurant for lunch. The vice president of this company took me to lunch, and there's Terrence Freeman. He's in New York too. We went to lunch, and like I couldn't believe how nice the waitress was, and just it was fabulous.
So,
I came back and
I'm hearing this. It's so crazy.
I know.
Like,
I told my wife Jill. I said we need to make a lot of money so we can get an apartment in Manhattan.
No, a lot, especially these days.
So anyway, let's get back to you, because you're a rock star, and
I'm a what? I'm sorry, I missed that.
I
What
said
did you say?
you're a rock star. You are an absolute rock star.
Rock star. Major. Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on the day, you know.
Well, so let's talk about so growing up, you grew up in the clothing business, and you know I'm sure you went to school and high school and all that in New York. Did you go to college?
I went to college for a couple of years. I went to Boston University.
Oh.
And then I left school and I auditioned for a theater company. I started working with a theater company in Boston.
Okay.
And then I came back to New York and started auditioning and getting, you know, work off Broadway and stuff, and did some film stuff and, you know, things like that. And just played in New York.
So you said you did some film stuff. Did you have some acting roles then?
Yeah, like some, you know, like little soap opera things and little, you know, we're talking little, but it was great for that time. It was wonderful, and running around to acting class and dance class and all that kind of cool stuff. Yeah.
So now this whole time were you where were you, like what was happening? And I mean, were you living at home or did you have your own place? Were you?
Gosh, both.
Okay.
I mean, I came back to Boston and lived at home for a while, and then I got an apartment, and I'm just trying to figure it all out, you know, because you grow up in a certain area and you go to elementary school and junior high school, and then you're back, but you're not in elementary school or junior high school anymore, you know?
Yeah.
So it was different, and the city was different then, and, you know, things were different.
Yeah. So what, at some point though, you got into what you're doing now. And I don't want to go too far into the future, but what happened after the whole New York, because eventually you left New York.
I did. I met my guy, which was amazing. Anyway, and to make like many years very short, we moved to LA. Okay. And, so I was living in LA. I had to learn to drive a car right before I moved to LA, because I grew up in Manhattan. I didn't know how to drive a car. You know, not only did I have to learn to drive a car, I had to learn to drive a stick shift. So that was something I knew in life I could never ever do. And my husband's teaching me and I'm crying and I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this, which is always indicative of things that you think you can't do.
Right.
And then you just do it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just amazing. Anyway, so we lived in LA for a while. And then I learned about this colors thing. It was very different than what I'm doing. And I thought to myself, well, God, I've been on TV before. And this is like, I was working for someone and this is like, this is very visual, what I do. And I said, I'm going to pitch the TV shows, you know? And I did. And I booked them. And I kept booking them. And
well, what's that mean, though? You pitched, what's that mean?
I would pitch, like I would contact producer people who were doing talk shows and stuff in LA. Yeah. And I said, this is what I do. You know when you don't know, you just go for it. You know, you don't have the mind going, oh, should I do it? Should I not? I pick up a phone. Hi, my name is Jill. And so I got on these talk shows and I demoed on celebrities and talked about this and that. And then I did something on camera and that's when I had the aha moment for the whole thing of my business. Because there was something similar back in the day, you know, having your colors done. Are you a winter, a spring, or whatever? And that's so, and I say to people now, this is not your mother's colors, what I do. This is a whole other thing. Because what I realized from being on camera, right, is when a camera comes in close, your hair color is what frames your face. It frames your eyes and your smile, and you really need to work it to pull everything together. Right. Otherwise, everything is distracting and fragmented, and it just doesn't work. And I also had the realization with my concept that because what I do is fun and it's exciting, but it's incredibly empowering for people. And what happens is when someone is wearing the right shades of color for wardrobe, the eye of the viewer is drawn from the color to the face to the hair. So everything is pointing up, all the arrows. And then my viewpoint is that the message you communicate in words just rides that wave. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. Instead of like the lips get there before she does, or the guy's tie, the meeting is all about this tie because it has nothing to do with him. So there's like distraction, interruption, blah, blah, blah. And you have to get through that to get the person. What I do is I show people how to push what they have going for them and just do a whole ta-da. Do you know what I mean? Like be right there, you know?
Let me ask you, and this, we're going down we're going off my show topic, but that's all right. Let's say that you have a really, really talented actor or whoever, right? And they're wearing bad colors. Yeah. Like, can that take away from the quality of the content?
You're talking about an actor not on the red carpet. You're talking about an actor
or a talk show host or anybody. Like,
yeah, it can be a distraction.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It can be like someone can wear color that totally washes them out, that totally ages them, that makes them look heavier because you can sink into color versus having a really cut jawline because you're wearing the right color.
Yeah.
So color is definitely a communication. I mean, in LA, obviously, I mean, there's so many industry people, and because of my background, I brought the concept heavily into the industry for people on camera. But now everyone's on camera. Everyone. Right. Selfies to, you know, webinars to their websites and all that. So what I put together is an incredible tool to enhance your presence. So to answer your question, like, yes, certain shades of one color can totally draw the focus to your face and to your eyes and make you sparkle and come alive. And a different shade of that same color can be very flat, make you look heavier down here because it's pulling everything down, and change the communication. Do you know what I mean? And you know what's interesting is when I work with actors, I tell them, like I show them how to make themselves look fabulous and great and all that stuff. But what I show them also is a way, like if over the arc of a story, if someone is not doing well and then bam, they hit the lottery or get the guy or the girl or whatever, you can extend a character to make them look better or worse with color. Do you know what I mean?
You know, I know you did my my buddy David Jensen. We're both friends.
Yes.
You did his colors for photo shoots, and like it worked. I mean,
Yeah, it totally works. I mean, I say to people, because my concept is different than what a lot of people have grown up with, especially the gals. It's like skin tone, am I pink, am I this, am I that? And I say to them, you know what? You don't even have to believe me. You don't even have to like me. Let me show you. And that's it. And I show them, and so they have their own reality on it. And it's great. I love it. I love what I do.
And I know you do, and I know you're good at it. So you ended up in LA. Did you ever learn how to drive a car, by the way?
I'm such a good driver too. Stick shift. I mean, I love to drive. It's great. I love to drive. But I did, but it was one of those things where, first of all, you saw how crowded the city is, right? And I learned to drive in Manhattan. So enough said on that, right?
That's crazy.
And we had, God, I don't know how many years ago, we had a little convertible Volkswagen that we shipped out from New York, and it was a stick shift. And my husband's teaching me in a parking lot, driving around and around in the tears, and I can't do this. So I'm really good at a stick, and I'm really good. I'm a good driver.
And the Volkswagens have a different kind of clutch, don't they? It goes down into the floorboard, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's an interesting car to drive. So you were in LA. You had
LA.
this idea to just start calling on Hollywood. Right.
Yeah, because it's really, what I do is really needed and it's really wanted a lot in that town. From the actors, because I have so much affinity for actors. I mean, it was what I was doing. I mean, I'm one of them. I had the headshot where I throw it in a bin with 5,000 others. Do you know what I mean? And you want to pop. Now, of course, everything is online. So I'm sure actors are watching, God, they make headshots, like print them out back in the day, but we did, The thing about now with actors, because everything is so tiny, they're like thumbnail, that you want to pull focus to you in a sea of a computer screen. So at least the casting director will click on it and then can enlarge it. But you've got to grab their focus. And so I show them from what they're wearing and, big point, from what their background is. Will either push their image forward or totally distract from it.
Wow.
I'm going to tell you a really fast story because it's totally true. One night, because I've been on both sides of the desk where I've wanted the job as an actor and I've been able to give a job for a project I'm working on.
Yeah.
Late at night, I needed a guy like in his 30s for something we were casting. And I'm looking at the screen and there, you push in like what age range and color type and all that. And there's just a sea of these, whoops, there goes the makeup kit, a sea of actors. And one actor grabbed my attention. It was tiny, little thumbnail. And I clicked on it. I swear this is a true story. He was a client. He was a client of mine.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't even, from years ago. But what he did was he took everything that he went through with me and utilized it. And so he popped. The background was perfect. The shirt was perfect. And I gave him the part, he got the part from it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That is awesome. And I can tell sometimes, and I know nothing about color. I'm sure you already know that. But like I can tell sometimes, when I'm looking at some of the shows I've done, because I've done this, I don't know, 80 some odd interviews now. Yeah. And I can tell there's times when I feel like I look better than other times. Does that make sense?
That's where I live.
I know, right? Yes. So yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
So what you do is important, but Sandy McNichol said, so should your shirt match your eyes?
Not necessarily, but it can. I mean, I will tell you, Sandy, that if a guy in junior high school, say he has blue eyes and he's told in junior high school and now he's a grown man, you have such dreamy blue eyes, I would tell you every shirt in his wardrobe, because I've seen wardrobes like this, is powder blue. Every single one. And powder blue, as we see here with someone in a powder blue shirt, is not necessarily their best blue. Okay. So
hey, I have black eyes, so you can't even see my pupils.
you have a reddish thing going on a little bit in the hair, or is that my computer? A little bit. It's like a reddish
probably
brown.
the lighting. I can't seem to get the lighting right in this office. So
Yeah, we'll talk. I'll hook you up with some colors.
yeah.
But the difference for a guy, okay, if he has blue eyes and say he has blue eyes and like a little reddish brown hair, the difference in his presentation from wearing a pale blue versus like a teal blue is like a greener blue,
Yeah.
is like night and day. It's huge
Really?
difference. Yeah, huge.
Wow. So let's back up, because we're getting into technical stuff now, and I want to do that. I definitely want you to, because there's obviously with the millions of people that may see this on binge networks, and a lot of people don't know you, they don't know me, but I want people to know that you know your craft for sure. But like, let's talk about when you were in LA. Like, when you got there, was it easy? Like, did you just have all the money in the world and life was easy? You guys kind of you were on easy street, right? I mean, we're in LA, we're in Hollywood, we're wealthy now.
Right. Not so much. Not so much, but it's so funny that you say, because we were renting an apartment.
Yeah.
And this is many, many years ago in New York City.
Yeah.
So, but you mentioned Hollywood. We actually found a townhouse to rent right under the Hollywood sign, so I could never get lost.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it was like a little townhouse. It was adorable. It was great. But we were like, wow, like we didn't pay this much in New York, and I'm driving a car. I mean, it was all so new. It was so like stranger in a strange land, truly.
Yeah.
But I knew how to get home because I lived under the Hollywood sign.
Oh my God.
And I knew a couple people. I didn't know very many people. I'd worked with an actress in New York who was, extremely gracious and would have me to her Hollywood parties and this and that. And I started meeting people. But I was, not that picture you painted in the beginning. Not at all.
And so I'm sure there were times where you got stuck. Like you just were like, I don't know what to do. And, we've all had those people in our life that help us, that we confide in, and they help us, or they teach us, or they encourage us, or, like, what are some of the pinnacle moments for you when you guys were in LA and, like, I don't know if you ever got to a place where paying the bills was challenging, but what are some of those moments for you?
Oh my. Well, first of all, yes, we didn't have money. We were just like starting, we were just married, and my husband was touring, he's in the music business, and we're figuring it out and all of that. But the biggest change for me in LA was that you have to create it all the time anyway. But coming from New York City, where you walk out on the street and you're busy because there's so much going on, and it's interesting, and it's just right there. In LA, you can sit in your house, no one walks on the street, and just, you have to figure it out. You have to like really create your own reality. You always do, but for me, that was huge. That part was huge. It was such a different change of lifestyle. It's like, well, I could just sit here and do nothing. You have to pick up the phone, and you have to, and that time when people were actually picking up phones.
Right.
It was before like the internet explosion.
Right.
And then you start creating stuff, and then, I've done things over the years that if people say, well, how did you get to that person, or how did you? And I was like, I don't know. I picked up the phone. I called them up.
Yeah.
And so there's things that, opportunities that came up because I just was like, why not? And then you get the thing, and then you have to know how to maximize it, which I've not done in certain times and have done in other times. Something came up that was wonderful, and I just made myself crazy. I got on TV and promoted I was going to be at the store and do an appearance and blah, blah, blah. And people lined up when I got there. I mean, there were fun things like that.
Wow.
And then there are things where, you're just hoping that something's going to happen. So and even now, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's different. It's a different time, but
right.
It's such a different time that sometimes you can pick up a phone, but so many people don't even talk on a phone. And this is very new for me, like all of this internet stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Facebook is the new TV, and I have clients that I coach on this. I'm like, look, if you're not using Facebook and Facebook Live and Twitter and Instagram and all of the platforms and putting stuff out like Grant Cardone talks about, putting as much content out on every available line that you possibly can, and then you're missing the biggest opportunity ever.
You're right. I mean, it is that, but you're talking to someone who is like extremely comfortable, because I've been interviewed so much going into a studio, they mic you sit, it's all lit, and now it's like people say to me, like they can't get over because I have so much content.
Yeah.
And what I do is so visual.
Yes.
And they're like, just turn the camera on. I'm like, I don't know, but the lighting and the thing and the da-da-da, and the mind goes like, and this is like 5 trillion reasons why I can't do this.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
I've said it a million times, Jill. The very first time I went live was on Periscope, and I was nervous as a hooker in church. I mean, I was terrified.
Yeah. So I'm starting to like YouTube.
Yeah.
We've done some stuff on YouTube, and see, there's one video that I didn't even know. I wasn't doing anything with YouTube that we put up that I think NBC followed me in LA to someone's house. And, we had, because my whole concept is based around the best colors, entirely based on your present hair color.
Right.
So I had the dark hair. There was a redhead and someone with gray hair, and I go to the person's house and she opens the door and it was preset, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, gray hair right now is huge. It's like an revolution. Women are saying, forget it. I'm not coloring my hair anymore for like a zillion reasons, whatever.
Yeah.
And they're looking for solutions. What do you do? All the colors I wore when I had reddish brown hair are terrible now, and yada, yada. So they Google, because when I am fortunate enough to talk to someone and they find us, how did you find us? They Google gray hair and things come up, how to take care of it and how to this or whatever.
Yeah.
But no one shows you how to rock it. So they go to this video, and this one little video I found out has over 100,000 views. And
wow,
it shows people how to take, without having me in person, how to take what they have going for them and just kick it out there to create a great effect.
That's awesome.
So I'm trying desperately to embrace all this.
Well,
I'm trying very hard.
And you are, and for some people it's a process, not an event. I kind of got addicted to going live, and I love going live and talking to people, because there's so many people out there desperate for information. And if there's something I know that can help you, and I sit here and keep it to myself and I don't go live or I don't put it out there, then I feel like I'm being selfish. So
wow, that's awesome for me to hear, because I say things. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you didn't interrupt me.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, trying to look at this camera, and I'm like, I want to look again. I'm looking at the camera. But I say things like that I just say, like about, business, showing people this and that. And someone said to me, in fact, a writer for the LA Times, I'll never forget this. I was doing a session with him and he wrote a lovely, lovely piece. But anyway, I say something and he says to me, wait a minute, let me write that down. And I was like, write it down. It's just, when you know something and you just know it, and you don't think it's that people don't know it. And I'm learning. I had this happen in LA. I was interviewed for this documentary in LA, and they were like hanging on to my words. And these are things like that it's just part of my thing. So I'm realizing that because I have a lot of information to share, and
Yeah.
I love to share it with
Yeah.
people. I love it, you know.
Yeah. Well, and somebody asked a question on here, and it's actually a question that I was going to ask.
Yeah.
And that is Sandy McNichol again. She said, who was your big break? And I was going to say, like, is there any person in particular, an actor, an actress, that you worked with that kind of was that pivotal moment for you where you're like, now it's on?
No, not an actor or an actress, although the ones that I have worked with, a few, I mean, I've worked with a lot of up and coming, do you know, who come to LA and for their headshots, they want to know. And I've worked with some major celebrities that I only wish I could drop the names, but I can't. But,
You can't?
I can't because what I do, what was it? Life and Style Weekly. They call me. It's lovely. I mean, ask me questions from, want to credit me and all that. Who have you worked with? I'm not I do makeup as part of my thing, but I don't hire as a makeup artist. So I can't say, I work with blah, blah, blah. It's like they see me, the celebrity sees me before the fact. They use my whole concept with the swatches and the colors to incorporate in their film, to do on their red carpet and all of that stuff. But I will tell you, one of the pivotal moments was InStyle magazine. In fact, that was huge. I got an email from the beauty director of InStyle, and all the stars were aligning. They just happened to be doing a piece on 10 ways to choose your best colors. And somehow my name came across her desk. And so we got on the phone, and she was lovely. And I was explaining kind of what I told you. She said, well, I found your thing and your colors and this and that. And I said, my concept is based entirely, this is while she was on the phone with me, entirely on your present hair color. Okay, whether you're dyeing it, whether you're not, your present hair color, because your hair frames your face, your eyes, your smile, and you have to work it. Otherwise, blah, blah, blah. And there's dead silence on the phone. And this is the beauty editor of InStyle magazine.
Oh, wow.
Dead silence after I said this. And then she says to me, I love this. Bam. And that was it. And then they featured it in InStyle magazine. And we were number 10 of the 10 ways to choose your best colors. And they spoiled me for life because they gave me real estate in that magazine with 3 celebs that I had to choose in the colors. And then they took my swatch book and they inserted the swatch book and drew an arrow. I mean, it was amazing.
That is incredible.
Yes.
So that was a big moment for you.
It was a very big moment. Yeah.
That's awesome. So after that, I'm sure that they just probably went.
Yeah, I mean, it was way more visible. It was very funny because I walked into my office and the phone rang, and you never know that something's going to be in a magazine until you open the magazine. You just don't. Things can get bumped and changed. And a woman calls and she says to me, hi, I had a question. I was on your website and blah, I saw it in InStyle magazine. I had a question, blah, blah. And I said, you saw it in InStyle? And it wasn't on the stands yet. And she said, yeah, I was doing my workout, I was on the treadmill and I was reading the thing and blah, blah, choose your best colors, And I said, it's in the magazine? Saw it in the magazine? She goes, yes, I get my copy because I have a subscription and blah, blah, blah. And I said, this is like 2010, 11, 10. Wow. And I said, can you fax me the copy? I was off the wall. I was like, I couldn't even believe it was it, And that was pretty cool. So then, but now you see people aren't reading magazines as much, and everything is online. And so what I've been able to do with a lot of this magazine stuff, like Redbook and wonderful, wonderful things, is reposition them and reuse it online.
Yeah.
But it's a shift. It's a shift for me. It just is.
That's incredible, though.
Yeah.
So you've worked with some very, very big Hollywood names. You're just not allowed to talk about them.
Yeah. Sorry.
Not one. Just give us one. I'm kidding.
I can't give you
I don't want you to get in trouble. So
I just yeah.
I do. I've heard. So but you and I have some common friends. But so as you went along doing all of this, you've done it for several years.
Several.
And
Shall we say? Yeah.
what'd you
Yeah.
say?
Yeah, several. And
So
several. Yeah.
you've been interviewed on, and I was gonna say who was your big break before being on my show. What was? No, I'm kidding. But
No, actually, your show. I mean, I'm thrilled to be doing this. I mean, because the shows that I've done. Okay, like I did something years ago. I think you might have seen it on with Danny Bonaducci and Mario Lopez.
yeah.
All about the guys. I think I sent you that little link. Anyway,
Yeah.
they did a show, like I had a TV show, and that was really fabulous. That was really fun because, I put bad color, good color, nothing to do with makeup. It's just for the guys. It's on my page for the guys.
Yeah.
And that was really fun because
That's
they
awesome.
got it. Like you see a moment, there was a moment, and this is like, TV, and they have an audience, and I'm standing there, and there's a monitor instead of like a mirror, and I'm holding bad good in front of Danny Bonaducci, and someone is standing right in front of the monitor. So he couldn't see it. So I was like, you see it? You see it? And he's like, like that. Then I put the colors on Mario right next to him, and there's a moment, it's like priceless, where he goes, you know what? I got this. I really get this. This is the first, because you could really see it. And that's the whole thing about once you see this.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well,
That's
so show us some examples. Like, do you have props?
I have like 8x10 like photos. I have something that might be fun. I don't know how it's going to, come across on here, but let's see. Oh God. I had some pictures that I have, but they're glossy shots. Okay, see, I'll tell you something cool that we did. I pulled these pictures, and now I don't know why. I can't. Where's the background music?
Where's the background music? All right, we're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back. I'm kidding.
See, I'm way more prepared than I know. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see if this works. So this is a fun thing that I do. When I go on camera, especially like around award show time, they always ask me, what did you think? Like, who wore this and how did she look and all that? And I will never trash anyone. I just don't go in that direction.
Right.
But I will show what I think would be a better choice. So what we do is we pull photos off the red carpet, how these beautiful, fabulous looking actresses came. And if I didn't care for the color for them, I Photoshop just the dress.
Right.
Okay.
I've seen many examples you've done of that.
Now, is this a good space to hold this? Can you see this?
Yep, you've got some light reflecting from the ceiling or something, but yeah.
Okay.
Who is that?
Anyway, this is the amazing Christina Hendricks.
Oh, okay. I'm losing it. Pull it back a little bit. Pull it back. There you go. There you go. Perfect.
So the teal blue is so much better on her.
Uh-huh.
The other one washes her out. And this is like taking someone who's already stunning. It's not like taking someone with bad hair and no makeup.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm taking it like kicking it up a notch.
Yep. I see it. That's beautiful. Big difference.
Yeah. And then here's Julianne Moore.
Back it up. Okay.
Do you see it? Like the silver kind of washes her out, whereas the more that coppery bronze just kind of brings her out. This is Jane Krakowski.
Wow.
First one just is a washout, and you just warm it up and put her in the right color. She's a warm blonde.
Yep.
That color is way
huge difference.
This is Anna Kendrick.
Oh, wow. That is a massive difference.
So you see, and you take this for your red carpet moments. Do you know what I mean? You take it for speaking, you take it for the party, you take it for everything. Like here, it's like a presence that happens.
Yeah.
It's like it's a beautiful dress, but it just washes her out.
Yeah, I see it.
Wow. And here is someone, like this is off my website. Here's someone.
Back up. Yep.
With no makeup and a bad color.
Oh,
and
geez.
Here is in my makeup for her coloring.
That's incredible. Wow.
And the thing is, Ken, I've truly, I've made this whole thing so simple
Right.
the people are like, how can it be? You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I've truly like, here, I'm going to show you this guy. Okay, this is a young actor in LA.
Yep.
Used to wear that, like to
I
audition.
can't see what he's wearing. All I see is his head. Pull it back. Back. There you go. Okay. Yep. Huge difference.
See, so he's going for commercial auditions wearing this one.
Yeah.
And they're seeing like a zillion people. And you want them to just stop the tape.
Yeah.
You see, and pull you. And here, there's a presence here. Do you know what I mean?
Yep,
And
I
like
get it.
everything like aligns so much more. I have one more guy here. Here, look at this guy. This is one of my clients. This is David. Look at this. Okay.
Yep. Wow. Tremendous difference. Pull it back just a little bit. There you go. Huge difference.
Right?
I get it. Yep.
So it's just really, really, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's simple. And, you know, the way people do this is with the swatch book. Like they shop with all the colors. So I shop for every color that goes in the booklet. And so all the colors work for you. And I make it that every color works together.
So you do a swatch booklet for each individual client.
Ta-da. This is a swatch book, so I don't confuse anyone.
So it's for an individual person. Like that's not just to hand and say, here's all the colors in the rainbow. Good luck.
No, no, there are 4 color groups. Okay. And each group, like I don't do it like if I have like 1,000 clients, each person doesn't get a different book. You know what I'm saying? So if someone has dark brown, black hair or like salt and pepper hair, they get one book.
Okay.
If someone is like a warm blonde, like say, like a Reese Witherspoon, you know, and Anna Faris, she gets a book. If someone is a redhead, they get a book. If someone is gray hair. So it's 4 separate groupings. Yeah.
I got you. Okay. Wow.
And then they take the thing and they match up the colors.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Like who would have ever thunk that there's such a that this even existed? If it wasn't for me knowing David Jensen, I wouldn't have even known. Like I would have never known.
And it was amazing because when I saw David's shots, because we talked about ties and this and that, and he nailed it. The tie was so amazing that as a viewer looking at him, it just pulled my eye right to his eyes.
It's incredible. His shots are incredible. So So what? And we're coming. I can't even believe we're already at the end of the hour. That's insane.
Gosh. You just go on and on with you.
So what is first? How can everybody follow you?
Okay, so Facebook. Okay. It's all Jill Kirsh Color. It's JILLKIRSH, no C, KIRSH.
I'm gonna put it up on the screen right now. So Jill KIRSH. Color.
Yes. Right. So it's Jill Kirsh Color and everything. It's at Jill Kirsh Color on Twitter. It's at Jill Kirsh Color on Instagram, YouTube, Jill Kirsh Color. It's amazing the reaction I'm getting from YouTube because we did a few things on YouTube. See, what I need to do is be more consistent with all of this. The C word, more, you know what I'm saying? But I have some stuff on YouTube that actually people from out of the country are contacting me. You know, I saw you on YouTube and I was like, wow. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's awesome.
And we do have a website. It's Jill Kirsh Color. However, which you and I have already talked about, my website is not iPhone friendly. So you'd want to go right now, but we're going to put a whole new website together. There's so much more content and all that, but you can go to the website, which is Jill Kirsh Color. There's product. I have makeup and scarves. I have, look at this, Ken, just to show you the whole shebang here. If someone has different hair color, I do scarves based on if they're a redhead, just or they have gray hair. You know, we have makeup based on all the colors. You can see all this there.
That's incredible.
But we'll be doing a new website. So, and you can always email me. You can email me through the website, but info@JillKirshColor.com. And I love hearing from people because my whole business was started doing one-on-one.
Right.
at their home, at the studio, or whatever. It was that contact. And
Right.
now so much is going on where people are buying and questions that I've never met. So I love connecting with
So,
people.
so what's coming down the pipe for you? Like, what any big plans coming up?
You know, the biggest plan right now for me is figuring out which direction
Yeah.
to really take this.
Yeah.
People have said to me, one of the things I've wanted to do, in fact, I talked to your Jill about this,
Yeah.
people have the swatch book and all they want to do is have stuff, and so
Yeah.
there's clothing ideas. I want to do accessory things based on the right color. Certain people should wear silver. Certain people are much better in gold.
Yeah.
Let me show you. Let me this, let me that. So I just, there have been people that have been interested, direct response, yada, yada. I mean, all different kinds of things. And I just need to decide. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, there's some people like you who is like so cool and ethical and honest and wonderful.
Yeah.
And then there are people that might be interested in expanding whatever, but you kind of don't want to play with them that much.
Yeah.
You don't want your space as much. So it's more than just, deep pockets from someone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just has to be the right thing, because it's kind of like, and I've been told this too many times, like I'm sitting on something here that could be very major. I mean, I have clients from all over the world, but I mean, taking this in the right direction can create amazing effects, aside from which it makes everyone happy.
Well,
I
think
I love.
yes, and I think, from my perspective, I'm the CEO of a company. I've interviewed thousands of people over the years, and what you're wearing and how you're wearing it and the colors, I don't even have to put much thought into it, and I know for a fact that it makes a difference. It can make the difference in whether you get a job or not. Right?
Yeah, I mean, there's an article. I don't know if I can tell the story really fast.
Yeah.
There was a guy in LA, because I've been very fortunate with wonderful fashion press, okay?
Yeah.
But what I do is also way beyond that, and
Right.
it's really integral to business. So I wanted to see if I could kind of get into that space a little bit. So I hooked up with this guy in LA who wrote for Inc. magazine.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw him on Twitter and I reached out to him, blah, blah, blah. This young guy. And I said, this is what I do. He never even heard of this, right? And I said, this is what I do. Let me come to you. I'll bring all my stuff and let me do the whole session with you. Mm-hmm. And, if you think it's cool, I would love an article in Inc. And if not, you get your colors done for free. It's all good. And I was totally fine with that. Anyway, I take my stuff, I do the whole thing, and he was blown away. And he started tweeting about it. And then he writes this article for Inc., which reminded me of what you were talking about. And he titles it, oh God, I'm going to misquote him, but something like can 3 color schemes be scaring away your clients, or something like that. He took a totally different approach to it, which was fabulous for me. Because I know as an actor, and you can take this as far as job interviews or whatever, as soon as the door opens, even before they shake your hand, bam, you're on. It begins. It begins. And it's just subtle and you don't know. So why not have it all? You know what I mean?
Totally agree.
Just instead of them having to get through, she was really interesting or he was interesting, but his eye, which is glasses, which is the whole other thing I get into, but like the glass frames and the tie and it was this, all these distraction away from you and your message.
Well,
so,
and I had a friend of mine reach out to me and he said, dude, you're doing these live streams in a t-shirt. And I go, yeah. And he goes, stop that.
Interesting.
I said, why? And he goes, you're trying to be a professional. You need to look like a professional. So, and I don't want to get into that whole thing, but I do know that when I'm dressed for success and I know I look, better than I would in a t-shirt, I feel better. I behave better. I put out better energy and all of that. So, I mean, this is a very important topic for people to grasp, because I come across Facebook Lives and we all do, where, it's some guy, you know, wearing no offense to anybody with a man bun, but a man bun and different, you know, whatever. And you're like, you make it, you without even watching it or hearing it or anything, we make judgments.
Right. Right. And I was thinking, you know, when you talk about dressing and stuff, like if you're going shopping anyway, and you're going shopping for, especially for camera, but for whatever, and you see there's so many choices out there.
Right.
And if you know that you're making the best choice for you, right? Not like it might not be the shade that's like being pitched, you know, but there's so much out there. There's a confidence, there's an empowerment. And when you know, and I've taken the guesswork out of it. It's like, this is like so freaking goof proof. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all there. So you're going to spend the money anyway. And I say, like the guy that you said, what a difference. This guy made this jacket is a very expensive cashmere jacket.
Yeah.
This is a very inexpensive blazer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This looks so much richer than this.
Totally agree.
Because of the color.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then once you know the right thing, then you're confident, and then you can take your attention off of this.
Yep.
How do I look and is it good? And put your attention out into the world and having what you want and communicating what you want, which I love.
I love it. And, you know, we're at the end of the hour, and I got to tell you, I'm very, very, very grateful that you took the time to come on the show and be vulnerable and on Facebook Live. And you're amazing. And you and I have had very long, extensive conversations, and you're an amazing lady. And I'm so grateful to call you a friend.
Me too.
And I'm grateful that you came on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it. So everybody, make sure that you go follow Jill Kirsh on Facebook. Jill Kirsh Color is your business page. So go follow Jill over on Facebook and look for some big things coming down the road for her. I think there's some really, really great things coming. So, and I want to squeeze this one last question in real quick before we end.
Yes.
Sandy McNichol said, "Do you do your own photography? Do you?"
Do I do my own? You mean did I take these pictures?
No, do you do photography?
I'm not, I just don't know.
Professional.
Do I do it? Like, do I click the camera?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I didn't think so. I
hook you up so you look great no matter who's
That's right. Right. Jill, you're awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody on Facebook who liked this, loved it, shared it. You guys are all awesome. Appreciate all of you. Have an awesome day, and we will see you all tomorrow.